Hey, the new Danmachi is coming out soon, and if that gives me a chance to talk about how much I appreciate this series, I'm gonna. So subscribe, shut up, and put your seatbelts on so we can head down the memory lane of Belle Cranel. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Belle is a kind, straightforward, brave yet shy boy that desires to be a hero like the ones he grew up reading about. He cares deeply for the people around him, especially his goddess Hestia and his familia. He considers them just like family due to the death of his grandfather. Belle is a young teenager that has white hair and red eyes, often compared to a bunny, cause he's cute. At least he is considered cute, as many female characters have pointed out throughout the story. He prefers wearing lightweight armor and wears a hip-length brown coat with a small black patch on the right side above his chest, along with a long-sleeved black shirt underneath. He also wears black pants, a belt with a silver buckle, and brown shin high boots. Belle was raised by his grandfather in an isolated village deep within the mountains. He had heard and read many stories about heroes from his grandfather, forming his dream of aspiring to be a mighty one himself. After his grandfather's death, Belle took it upon himself to leave the village, traveling to the land of Aurario to fulfill his dreams. Upon his arrival in the city, Belle attempted to enter numerous familia but was rejected by each one. Hestia, a goddess unable to find members willing to join her familia, asked him if he'd like to become the first. Belle gladly accepted, and so started his new life, finally with the goddess's blessing. He also seems to have a very good memory. After being rescued from a minotaur by Ai's Wallenstein, Ai meaning love in Japanese, and she is the love interest of the main protagonist. She is also a good character to use the petting feature on in the Danmachi mobile game Memorial Freeze. The petting feature is basically like a mini game within the game where you can touch and pet your favorite Danmachi waifus, if you're in Japan that is, because this feature was foolishly censored and removed from the English version of the game for some reason, which led to a lot of backlash and complaints from Danmachi fans all across the West, who were looking forward to it. After being ridiculed by a member of the Loki family about the Minotaur incident, and for how weak he was, not knowing he was within earshot, he had no choice but to acknowledge his words and thought himself foolish for thinking that Ice would be with someone like him. He became determined to grow stronger so that he could be someone that could stand beside her. The initial incident also left him with a fear of Minotaurs. Belle's goals didn't start out pure, as he wanted to become an adventurer in hopes of picking up a lady, even thinking of starting a harem at one point. However, after his experience with Ice and Beth, Belle seems to have forgone that dream in order to catch up with her and become more like a hero. Although he does get embarrassed when others find out about his desire to be a hero, as most kids have grown out of that dream by his age. Though it is a good trait, Belle is often scolded by people around him for his trusting nature. He was tricked out of his money by Lily multiple times before he found out. Hestia warned him that she may be untrustworthy, nevertheless he still refused to abandon her. However, being the type to not hold grudges, he easily forgave her. When a body was discovered in the 18th floor and Ryu was thought to be the killer, he continually held doubts and wanted to believe in her, despite all the evidence seemingly pointing at her. Belle is also a terrible liar. His inability to lie or keep a secret is often easily recognized by others. This inability is part of the reason why Hestia has not told him about the skill behind his extremely fast growth, knowing that he would be unable to keep it a secret for very long. And is also annoyed with the fact that his strong desires that fuels the skill does not come from her, but from Ice. Conversely, it has been noted by Hestia that he has an extraordinary ability to read people. He recognized the loneliness in Lily to be similar to what he felt, and was also able to pick up on Lily's feelings through his facial expressions fairly quickly. Though he gets flustered quite easily from time to time, especially around women, and can appear to be timid, Belle does possess a strong will. His feelings for Ice was strong enough to grant him a skill that highly accelerated his growth. His desire to be strong and to stand next to her gave him the resolve to overcome his fear of Minotaurs, and defeat one while still only a level 1. He unknowingly went against Hermes' divine will and refused to kill Gross, choosing instead to believe in the dream of the Xenos and risk death. When he sets his mind to a goal, he puts his all towards completing it. He persisted through Ice and Tiona's harsh training in preparation for the war game against the Apollo familia. Belle often acts based on his feelings, which causes him to end up in trouble quite often, such as when he decided to help Lily rescue Haruhime. However, such actions have also worked in his favor. His action caused him to earn the affection of the aforementioned women, as well as several others. He saved Maud Latro, who had kidnapped Hestia from monsters, turning him from an enemy into an ally. His support of the Xenos and his belief that they are worthy of being saved has made him quite popular with them. His encounter with the Xenos deeply troubled him for a time. Killing monsters was something that he became afraid to do, knowing that there were some that had the emotions and intelligence of people. With some advice from Fels, he decided to become a hypocrite. He would keep taking lives so that he could get stronger and protect others. Following his loss against Asterios and his ascension to level 4, Belle has become more calm and level-headed, due to his goals now including creating a new world that both people and Xenos could live in, and defeating Asterios. His desire to be stronger has grown and he approaches adventures in the dungeon with more seriousness. Bell's only attack magic is the Fireball spell, which lets him create explosive amounts of small compressed flames. Being able to cast magic without a magical item is rare. Usually when someone learns a magic spell, the incantation of the spell comes along with the package. But in Bell's case, the Fireball spell did not come with an incantation, but Bell can cast the spell regardless of this. He never received an incantation because he doesn't need one. Bell's most dangerous ability is the Argonaut skill. Argonaut allows a charge for an active action. He gained Argonaut upon ranking up to level 2 out of his desire to become a hero. It requires 4 minutes for a full charge and can either sound like a small chime or a grand bell depending on the power being used. For the first couple of uses, Bell thought of a hero each time. However, he hasn't done so with the recent uses, making it unknown if he no longer has to do so. As time goes on, he becomes able to use Argonaut while moving, a feat he was previously incapable of. It can be used to strengthen attacks that originate from him, but the effect will dissipate when he is attacked or if he loses focus. Also, as a recoil for using this skill, it damages whatever he's charging, destroying weapons after use. Except for the goddess's knife, that stuff has proved indestructible, as it should be since it was directly forged by the god of the forge. And I will be talking about the Hestia knife and what it can do in the part 2 of my top 10 most epic weapons in anime you wish you had in real life. Click the screen to watch the part 1 and see the best of the best weapons anime has to offer.